Hi, welcome to Dumagetti IELTS Writing Improvement Lessons. This lesson is focusing more on grammar, on the grammar side of things, so grammar. And today's question is, how do I paraphrase? As you can see, there's a grammar poster there. Paraphrasing is all about grammar. And today's topic relates to technology. So I've included technology in this little picture, which I quite like. Okay, let's begin. Paraphrasing is to write or say something using different words, but to achieve the same overall meaning. So, how can we paraphrase? What methods are available? First, we have to look at when we paraphrase the most. Now, when you're writing a title, an introduction, an overview, or a conclusion, basically you're given a template and you have to paraphrase that template. A title, you're given a title. When you write an introduction, it's going to be paraphrased because it's going to often include the title. Overviews in task one, they're generally going to have a set format and they're going to include some of the information that's in the essay and sometimes part of the title. Conclusions, you're restating the title. You're restating your opinion in some cases. So you need to paraphrase. So these situations, rather than in open writing, for example, when you're writing your body paragraphs, yes, you will have to paraphrase, but you haven't got anything to measure against. Here, you've got something to measure against. So this is why I'm focusing on this. In other parts of the essay, you'll be paraphrasing anyway. So this exercise we do today should help you in developing your skills. So let's look at some of the techniques and then apply them to some examples. We have synonyms, paraphrasing expressions, clause or phrase swapping, word formation, and chunks. Synonyms, basically, they allow you to keep the whole sentence structure and change individual words. Paraphrasing expressions, this is changing combinations of words between 2 and 5, roughly. Clause swapping, taking clauses or phrases and reversing them, or changing the order of the whole clause. Word formation, taking words and changing the form. So it could be the same word. Most words have a root form and several flavors, as we say. So that's word formation. And the last one is chunks. Breaking the title down. Generally, if you're paraphrasing a title, you break it down into chunks and paraphrase each section. Much better for lower level students. So, synonyms. You should note, firstly, that one of the main reasons for bad grammar is the incorrect use of synonyms. As a teacher who's taught IELTS for many years, I see so many students or exam takers who use their dictionaries. They go to an online dictionary or their own dictionary, they key in the word they want to change, and then they get a whole list of synonyms. Half the time, most of these words don't fit because synonyms are not like that. Some are an exact match, but many are not an exact match. So you have to know how to use a synonym before you use it. The dictionary approach will work in one or two or a few cases, but it won't work in general. So as it says here, we should choose synonyms that fit and have the correct meaning. Synonyms have to be an exact match in meaning. for the words they replace. So here's our title for today. So I've boldened the words that we're going to work with. For the titles, such as one above, we don't have to change everything. But for this exercise, we're going to change most of the words. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 small words that we're not changing. We're also going to look at what fits and what doesn't fit. So nowadays, we begin our essay, our title with nowadays. So I've put these days, recently, at present, today, in recent times. There are more, but I'm not going to give you every example for everything. So this video, I don't want to make it too exhaustive. So what I provide you today will be enough. So we could say these days, we could say at present, we could even say something like in today's world. But what we shouldn't use is recently. Recently suggests more in the past than in the present. Recently goes with present perfect, which means from then until now. But it focuses more on the past, so we don't really want to use that. Today, we don't really want to use today because today could actually mean today. It's Monday. Are you talking about today, Monday or Friday or Wednesday? No, so don't use the word today on its own. You can use it within a phrase, for example, in today's ever-changing world or something like that. That's fine, but not on its own. Okay, so the examples are in blue are more acceptable. The other ones are not really acceptable. I've just explained recent and in recent times, referring more to the past as well as the present. So it talks about from then until now. But we're not talking about, excuse me, we're not talking about then, we're talking more about now. And today could also refer to only today. So don't use it on its own. And the next part of the title, I've put this together as a phrase, advancement of technology, because you don't need to separate these two words because advancement in technology or advancements of technology, they go together. So don't separate them. Developments in technology, innovations, new ideas in technology, improvements. Technological advancements, technology improvements, technological developments, all of those would be acceptable. And they've all changed from our original word. Some of the things that I also see as a teacher when I mark essays is words like new or more to describe something that's improved or better. They don't explain it. They're not synonyms. Better technology, that's okay. I've just put the word better, but we're saying better technology. The words in blue suggest better technology, while the others do not. And again, going back to my original point, it's better in some situations to keep words together. These words are kept together. New technology does not mean improved, it just means new. For example, you could buy a new car, but it doesn't mean it's better than your old car. It's just a new car. Your old one is old. They could have exactly the same functions. And more technology doesn't mean improved. It just means more. For example, if you ate more food today than you ate yesterday, does that mean the quality of the food you ate today is better than the quality you ate yesterday? No, it just indicates that you ate more food. Okay, so those are the kind of words you cannot use. The next word is people. Yeah, people is by far the most common word used when talking about people, because it's the #1 synonym. So other words we can use are citizens, individuals. Persons we can't use because a person is singular, and essays don't talk about one people, they person, sorry. They talk about a group of people. Workers. We can't use the word workers in our title because it says people can work and live. Many people don't work for different reasons. Some are retired, some are studying, some are. So it doesn't mean work and live go together. It means some people can live where they want and some people can work where they want. So you've got to cover both. So that's why I wouldn't use the word workers, because it excludes everybody else. Humans, again, too specific. If we were comparing humans to animals, then yes, we could use that word because we're trying to make a specific point. So we don't say humans when we're writing or having a conversation. It's just a very unusual word, but it's feasible in some situations. The next one is can, the modal verb. We can change that to are able to, have a choice to, choose to. Other things that I do see which are not appropriate are will and could. Will is future. Could is past ability. Yes. Or possibility. But if we're talking about possibility in the present and in the future, then we use can. Use possibility for could, but not in this situation. Live is a verb. Reside, be located, inhabit. What we don't say is be, have a house or stay, which again I see a lot. Be means to just be in a place. It doesn't talk about where you live or where you work. I am in a shopping mall. I am at a swimming pool. I am in a cafe. That just tells me where you are now or where you are at a certain time. So we don't use that verb. Have a house. We don't say that because just because you have a house doesn't mean you live in it. People have a house, they rent it out. People have a house and live in a different city as an investment. So having a house doesn't necessarily mean where you live. And stay does not mean live. You stay in a hotel. Nobody lives in a hotel because the idea is that you're staying there for a short time. So don't use the word stay instead of live. Anywhere they want, any place they choose, in their desired location, in a location of their choice, where they want. All of these are fine. The place they live in, no, because it doesn't fit in with the title. So people can choose to live and work the place they live in the place they live in. Doesn't make sense. So you can't use this. How they live. We're not talking about how people live. We're talking about where they live. To do what they want. We're not talking about people doing what they want. We're talking about people working and living in specific places or choosing to. Again, these I see in essays, but they don't answer the question. They don't fit the paraphrase. Okay, the last one is clause swapping. Sorry, the last two. Clause swapping. Clause swapping is where we take a clause or a phrase. I've mentioned clauses more here, but we should mention phrases as well. A clause is a part of a sentence with a subject and a verb, but it can include the rest of the sentence. But if it's a clause, it must have a subject and it must have a verb. If it's a phrase, there is no verb included in a phrase. So, for example, with the advancement of technology, this is a phrase because there is no verb in it. People can work and live. That's a clause. People, subject, work or live, verb. Can is a verb. So subject, verb. That's a clause. Not really important for this, but if you're changing things around, you've got to know the difference. So you can, when you change things around, your sentence stays grammatically correct. Okay. Two examples of our original title. Here's the original title. So I've swapped the clauses. People can work and live anywhere they want. People can live and work anywhere they want with the current advances in technology. I haven't changed this much because I'm demonstrating how to change the clause, not the paraphrasing itself. And hence the colors also. I've changed the color so you can see when I've changed the phrases over and the clauses. A choice of employment and residence can now be made by people due to the latest advancements in technology. So again, I've placed this at the rear, I've placed this at the rear, I've changed the other thing to the front. What I've done is I've swapped everything over. Clause swapping, phrase swapping. Okay, practice doing this with different parts of sentences until you're comfortable. This is a good thing to have, because if you can't think of phrases, words, synonyms, etc., to change your title or conclusion or whatever you're doing, you can just swap the whole thing round. That shows that you've actually changed it. Some of the words within like this sentence, for example, people can live and work. Yes, we haven't changed anything here, but we've reversed the whole sentence clauses. So that's very acceptable. Okay, the next thing is word formation, where words have the same root, but we change the word to fit the situation. Example, advancement and technology. Advancement can be advancing or adjective. Advances, verb. And we can also use technology and change it to technological, adjective. As technology advances, this is a verb here, moves forward. So subject, verb. With advancing technology, again, adjective, noun. And with technological here, with technological advances, these two mean the same thing. But now technological is an adjective. Advances is a noun. Because remember, adjectives describe nouns. An improvement in technological devices. Technological adjective, devices noun. And the last one, chunks. For lower level students, it's a good idea to break the title into chunks and paraphrase each one. Don't worry too much about the pronouns, the prepositions, etc. with and, articles, the, etc. They're the small words. Practice with the long words and just use the words you need to complete the sentences. So here, I've put the original title into color codes. So you can see how I've changed each part of the sentence, the title, sorry. So this is what I mean by chunks. Chunk, 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 chunk. So we have nowadays, these days, the advancement of technology. Technological advances mean that people, individuals, can work and live, have the choice to be employed and reside anywhere they want, in any location they choose. Currently, nowadays, advancements in technology, improvements in the field of technology, allows citizens, you need a verb here to say that this lets citizens do this, allows citizens, people, to be able to reside and work. I haven't changed work here because I've changed a lot of the sentence. So I've changed most of it. So the odd word doesn't really affect you. Remember, you don't have to paraphrase every single word. If you can paraphrase as much as possible, it's good for your score, of course, but you don't have to do everything. So I've left work in here. So anywhere they want now becomes in any place they desire. So 3 examples of chunks. Longer sentences can often be more difficult to paraphrase. This technique is a good way of paraphrasing and still getting a high score. Okay, so that's the end of the lesson. Practice the formats, the vocabulary, and use them to fit the topics you're going to write about. Paraphrasing takes a lot of practice. If you do it a few times and think that's enough, you'll face problems in the exam. You need to know how to do it in a wide range of situations. Sorry. Underneath there is an exercise. Someone's letting off fireworks. I don't know why. So please subscribe to the channel. Please view as many videos as you like. Keep practicing. And if you want lessons with us or tuition or advice or anything, please visit our website, IELTS.com. And thank you, and see you in the next video.